Now, it's less than a year before the opening of the Paris 2024 Olympics, and the French capital is already battling an invasion of bedbugs. The tiny pests have been reported in hotels, vacation rental apartments, as well as movie theatres and even public transport. For more on this, let's bring in our science editor, Julia Seeger. Julia, according to a study published by the French National Health Agency, these pests have infested one household out of 10. That's extraordinary.
It does sound like a lot, but at the same time, I think it's important to say that these pests have always existed. They'll exist. They've existed before us. They'll probably outlive us. And we've been dealing with these infestations since the beginning of time. But it's true that between the 1950s and the 1990s, it almost felt like they had disappeared because we were using synthetic insecticides. And they were really strong. We stopped using them for environmental reasons, but also because the pests starting developing resistance to those products. So another reason to explain their return is also the fact that we're traveling a lot, of course, but also our consumption patterns. More and more people, for ecological reasons, have favored secondhand purchases, and that's also an issue. Now, finally, there's the lack of information. At least here in France, a lot of people just simply don't know what to do, how to behave to avoid infestation. There's also stigma around an infestation, which leads them to not report the issue.
So what can people do to avoid infestation?
Well, first of all, you need to know what a bedbug looks like. I know it's not easy to look at. It's really itchy just to look at it. But a bedbug is a small insect the size of an apple seed. So you can really see it. It feeds at night primarily on human blood. You can usually find them in mattresses and the bed frames. And the bites actually look like mosquito bites, but they're usually grouped and in a line. What's important is to understand that we're now finding them everywhere. Here in Paris, there have been reports of them in high-end hotels, but also Airbnb reservations. We found them in cinemas, but also in hospitals. So it is concerning indeed. I think the most important thing, perhaps, is to understand how, for instance, to inspect a hotel room. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your luggage, you're going to leave it in the bathroom where there are no textile, and you're going to check, first of all, for your bed frame and your mattress. You're going to take off the mattress cover, the mattress cover, and you're going to be looking for small brown fecal stains, and that will show you if there are bed bugs or not. Another advice is to never place your luggage on the floor, and also check for other armchairs and wardrobes. If you have indeed, unfortunately, slept in an infested room, then you need to wash everything, your cloth and linen, at over 60 degrees Celsius. You can also tumble dry for at least 30 minutes, and you can even freeze all of your linens at minus 20 degrees Celsius for at least 72 hours. If that doesn't work, you really need to call a specialized company, and more we're actually using canine detection, which is working really well, especially now it's being developed in the United States at least.
And can we take inspiration from New York City, which of course has been plagued by bedbugs?
It has been plagued for several years now, and but it has been a pioneer. At the same time, it's still battling the problem. It's still the second most infested city in the United States after Chicago, but it did manage in 2010, where there was really a peak of infestation with 24,000 reports. Bloomingdale's, the New York Times, the Empire State Building, everything was infested, but the city really reacted swiftly, and this is the important point here, and Paris should be looking to that as an example. It declared a state of emergency, and the mayor at the time, Michael Bloomberg, was even nicknamed the bedbug Tsar. He voted a law to require property owners to report the presence of bedbugs 12 months before selling or rental of their apartment, and the owner had to bear the cost of this disinfection. More importantly, what he did, he implemented strict management of bulk waste. So any mattress that was, left on the street had to be sealed in a waterproof protection, and if they didn't, then you had to face a fine from the sanitation department. New Yorkers know everything about it, to the point, let me give you an example, that last May, this New Yorker, this young girl, was really excited because she found this Roche-Beaubois curved bubble sofa, which is estimated at 8,000 euros, but it wasn't protected, and it became viral because New Yorkers started accusing her of being completely reckless, that this very expensive couch was probably infested.
And can these infestations really create psychosis?
They can,
and
indeed.
incur significant, healthcare costs as a
It
result.
really does. It can lead people to have insomnia because the bed bugs are biting at night, and it can lead them to depression. I'm just going to give you one example. In 2019, the total health cost linked to bed bugs in France amounted to $83 million. That is linked, of course, to the impact on mental health, but also the work absences. So this is a real health issue.
Thanks for that, Julia Seeger, on clearly what is a major problem for Paris health.